Welcome back to the Grindhouse Podcast. I am your host, Cheese Film. And today we have a very peculiar film indeed. Today we tell the tale of Victor Frankenstein, Unbound. But I am Cheese Film.
And I'm Hecubus. And it's also Dr. Buchanan.
Yes.
That's who John Hurt plays.
Dr. Buchanan. You know, I've never read Frankenstein.
I have. It's damn good.
Is Buchanan in the book?
No.
So that's a completely original character?
Yeah, this is based on a book, Frankenstein Unbound.
Yeah.
Came out in like 71 or 73 by Brian Aldiss. And it's completely, I don't want to... It has Frankenstein characters in it. It has historical figures in it, and it's complete science fiction. It's not real at all.
This is not a gothic horror at all.
No, it's not gothic at all, even though it takes place back then.
Yeah.
And it's Frankenstein, but it's not.
And I will be making a comment farther on in the podcast about this once we get to the end of the plot, because once I say it, it can't be unsaid, and it's very true. But coming at you from the, I mean, honestly, it's kind of, I'm not intentionally picking these types of movies. But this is another Roger Corman film.
Yeah. This is
showcased on the podcast.
This is Roger Corman's last film he directed.
Still the last one?
The last one. And he got $1 million to do it.
He probably only asked for $1 million, though.
Well, he got $1 million just to direct it.
Oh, they paid him $1 million.
Yeah, it's I forgot what studio put it out, but it's not his. They paid him to be the director.
That's
and I
even
think he
better.
did a fabulous job.
You know what's funny? There's a handful of Corman movies that I stand by as phenomenal films.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the Poe
the Poe ones are great.
This is another one I think was actually insanely well done.
Yes.
Especially for being from the guy who's known for schlock.
Right.
I don't
think it is.
It's not at all. I wouldn't say it's a fantastic movie by really any standard. But I think it's a really good one.
I think it's fantastic.
Really good.
I couldn't get it out of my head. I don't know why I thought of it a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I brought it up to you. And then I started looking, well, how am I going to watch it?
And it's nowhere.
It's nowhere. I don't even know if it's in print.
I couldn't find it physically.
No, I had to watch it on YouTube.
Yeah. Of all places I would ever think to find it.
Yeah.
It was on
Thank
YouTube.
God.
It wasn't on Tubi. It wasn't on Amazon. It wasn't
HBO.
on HBO or Apple. It wasn't even on Freevee.
Yeah.
It was nowhere.
This is a true cult classic because it's pretty much forgotten.
Oh, yeah.
It's from 1990. What's that? 30 years old.
Ah, don't say that. I'm almost 30.
Yeah, but so it's older than that, and I don't think anybody cares about it, and you should watch it.
You know what's funny is I don't think I've ever heard anybody talk about this movie.
I never have. I've never heard anybody talk about it ever.
I'm not a big Frankenstein fan. Like it's cool. You see the one. If you saw the original Universal one, you don't need to watch another one.
Right, except for Young Frankenstein.
But that's a whole different thing. Like this one.
Yeah.
Whole different thing. Watch this one. I think this was great. I watched this. I put this on at 11 o'clock last night and watched the whole thing. It's an hour and a half long. Got done at about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, wow.
It's good.
I almost put it on again. Yeah, like it's, I didn't, when I saw Roger Corman's Frankenstein, I was like, all right, well, I'm not going to be in for something great, but I'm going to be in for something at least entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
It's had John Hurt in it, which I thought
John
was
Hurt
big
and
name.
Raul Julia.
And Raul Juliet. Two big names.
Yeah,
that I
at the
thought
time, in
really
1990
wouldn't
they were.
work with Corman.
Yeah.
You know,
and
like,
then Bridget Fonda, too.
Yeah. Because, I mean, everybody worked for Corman, but if you were working for Corman and your name was already known,
Right.
it was probably not a
You don't
good
go
thing.
back to
Yeah.
working with him.
His motto was, if you do a good job for me, you'll never have to work for me again.
Yeah, that's
Which
a great
is-
motto.
I love because he's in on it, too.
Right.
Well, because he knows what he's doing. His book is literally, I made 200 movies and didn't lose a dime or
Right,
whatever it
something
is.
like that.
So you know he's aware of who he is. But yeah, just to see these pretty big names
Yes.
in this movie and introducing a new one
Well,
that
they
I
say
hadn't
that.
even heard of.
I haven't heard of him either, but I guess he's been in like 8 movies before this one. I didn't recognize him when I saw his real face. He plays the monster. But also, what's his name? Jason Patrick is in it
Yep.
as Byron. And Michael Hutchinson, who you don't know who that is.
I've heard his name though.
He used to sing for NXS. And he accidentally killed himself.
Oops.
Yeah. But he was also in line to play Jim Morrison in the Doors movie.
Oh really?
Yeah, and because he had the look and that kind of stuff. But
Oh, okay.
he's only really in this one scene. And they did good getting Val Kilmer to do it, that movie. But yeah, this movie is it's a sci-fi movie. It takes place, starts in the future. And John Hurt.
2031 too.
Yeah, pretty
Pretty close to where we are.
yeah.
And you know,
John Hurt's making a thing. He's trying to make a weapon that's not going to destroy the world.
right, but will destroy your enemy.
Right. And it ends up it disintegrates things. And it makes a rip in the time-space continuum. And
yeah, it's a
so
whole
there's a big
fabric.
cloud that makes is a portal to a different time.
Right.
Yeah.
By the way, this is how this Frankenstein movie starts.
Right. This is the beginning.
It's set in the future where they are creating a particle accelerator to disintegrate military enemies, and they open up a hole in the space-time continuum. That is your start to Frankenstein.
Right.
Nobody has done that before, and nobody did it since.
No, it's a great.
That is such a bold way to start something.
And I can't believe this didn't do better than it. Nobody's
I can't
heard
believe
of it.
it's
Yeah,
something.
great.
Yeah. Look, I've heard of the remake of Dracula with the Francis Ford Coppola one.
Yeah, I've
I've seen that one. I've said the Bob De Niro Wolfman.
Yeah, Robert De Niro,
Frankenstein, and the Benicio del Toro Wolfman.
Yep.
This one, I thought you should know this. Those ones.
Yeah, you should.
It's that good.
It's that good. It really is.
It's got an interesting poster.
Yeah.
I love that poster. I'm a sucker for posters. I
Yeah.
think, and like
That
this
was
one,
the cover of the DVD or the VHS tape.
tape.
Too.
Yeah. Oh,
Does
magic.
it really? That's cool.
But
All right,
yeah,
he's got. It's in the future, and William Hurt's car drives itself if he wants to. It has AI in it.
It's a Tesla.
Yeah, before in 1990.
It's got a huge computer that you can
Yeah.
TV screen that you watch stuff on.
Yeah,
It's got a printer in it.
it's a
gonna
printer.
print a
in
whole
it.
book in it.
Right, like anybody even uses a printer anymore.
Yeah. I thought in 2031 everybody would be wanting to use their car printer to
Right.
get a whole book.
whole
They would
book.
literally print out the whole Frankenstein book to show Mary Shelley that she's going to write a book.
Right.
But yeah, so he very calmly gets attacked. He goes to his home. There's kids burying a bicycle,
Yeah.
which is a little surreal.
Yeah. That was weird.
And then a knight
A portal opens up in the sky.
and a knight on a horse tries to kill him.
Yeah.
He's just very calm about it. Oh, that happened. And then he
does
gets
a great
sucked
job.
up into it.
Yeah. Him and his car.
Yeah.
Because the car is a character in the movie.
The
The AI of the car is a character
AI
in
of the
movie.
car, which is kind of a clever idea.
It is.
To have like the what's
Like
the other?
Kit.
Is that the
From Knight Rider.
yeah the Knight Rider car? That's the one. Be his companion.
Yes.
I think that's a cool idea.
It is. Yeah, it works good too, and it's sometimes it's comic relief, but it moves the plot along. He needs the car to do what he's going to needs to do later on. Mm-hmm. And here's one thing: he travels back in time. Okay, so then he travels back in time, and it goes to where Mary Shelley, the lake. I don't remember where it is, but she's there, and Lord Byron's there, and Percy Shelley's there, and I don't want to get these things out of order. So he sees Victor Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Who the introduction to him is great too. It's in a bar.
I had something written down for this.
He makes a comment about his clothes.
Yeah. He says, I'm from America.
Yeah.
And he said, where I come from, this is proper attire.
Right.
Meaning the future.
Right.
Now there's a line in this where he says, he's like, I'm Victor Frankenstein. And he's like, I'm a big fan of your work.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, you must have me confused with somebody else because I'm unpublished.
Right.
I think it would have been a way awesome line to then put that back in there and say, not where I'm from.
Right.
Because I think that would have been really, because he wouldn't have
cool.
played, he ignores it, but like, that would have been a cool
It would have worked
line.
in this movie too, because like most time travel movies, they're like, you can't mess with anything. You'll screw up the future. John Hurt doesn't give a shit.
They give a.
He shows him her car. He says, you're going to write this book.
He shows
He
her
says,
the book.
I know you, Frankenstein, and this is what you do. He's like, he don't care.
He's like, rules of time travel. What are those?
Yeah, right.
He literally throws it all out the window. He does whatever the hell he wants to do.
Right.
Without any repercussions at all. Like there's no like, I'm going to alter the future here. He's like, no, we got to save that girl. You're going to do it because you're supposed to do it. I think that was something I was thinking about too, because there's no consistency with modern like rules of time.
None.
Time
they don't
travel.
use that
it's
at all.
Literally,
it's not even taken into consideration.
There's not a thought where he's like, well, I can't mess any of this up.
Right.
He's just strictly doing whatever the hell he wants to do. And that's kind of a bold thing to do.
It is. And it totally works with the story.
It does. And it feels unique.
He's had the AI, it says, I need 96 hours to figure out how to do something to get back.
Because it can't connect to anything.
Right, because there's no satellites or anything.
There's nothing to connect to, yeah.
Yeah, so he meets Frankenstein. He gives him his fanboy service.
Yeah.
And there's a girl that's going to be hung for the murder of Frankenstein's son.
Yes.
Which is from the book, or brother, not son. His monster does kill his brother. That girl, by the way, who is on trial is Roger Corman's daughter. And he's like, she didn't do it. He knows. Did they introduce the monster yet?
Not yet. You saw him
at the bridge. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, they do that. So after the courtroom scene, they go to the bridge, and that's when you see him. He tails Victor Frankenstein after they leave the tavern.
Right.
And you see him in the trees, and he's like, well, you did this to me or whatever. And he's like fully speaking. He's not some.
No, he's not. No, he's the. In the book, he's smart too.
Yeah.
Smart enough he could talk and figure things out.
Which is something I do wonder why the Universal movie didn't do.
They changed a lot of stuff in the movie from the book. The movie and the book are not anything.
They're not really the same thing at all. But I do want to know why they wanted him to be more, I guess, innocent.
Yeah, maybe that's
naive.
Why. Because he's new. He was just born.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's probably it.
And this Frankenstein doesn't have any memory of what it used to be.
Yeah.
But he looks pretty good, too.
I was going to comment on the way he looks.
Instead of having bolts down here on his neck, he's got, like,
it's like staples
discs
or
coming
something
out of his head where the electrodes hold on to.
Yeah. He kind of looks like, man, what was it? It's like, I can see it in my head. Like the final form of a monster from a different movie where it's like, I'm going to get you. The Mask. The end of the Mask.
He does kind of look a little like the Mask guy.
Yeah.
When the bad guy puts the mask on.
Not Jim Carrey, the other guy.
Yeah, he does kind of look like that.
So it kind of looks like the Little Monsters, Howie Mandel. Like
That villain too, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
And knowing Corman, he probably used.
He probably made Little Monsters too, or produced it. It's like, hey,
had
let's
his
use this
finger
again.
in there. I love how he does stuff. He's such a guerrilla filmmaker.
Yeah, and it's efficient. Everything.
Oh yeah.
This movie is a study in efficiency and storytelling, and everything. It just keeps moving.
Uh-huh.
And they
There's
must
no
have spent
drag
some money
on
on
this.
it. No, there's not. But like some of the gore isn't the best kind of special effects. But I think the
No.
monster makeup was really good.
Yeah.
And
They put it where they needed to put it.
Yeah, the futuristic stuff looks good.
Because like with the goats that were ripped open, like those ripped open goats.
Mhm.
When he takes out the cop's heart
Yeah,
and he shows it to him, like it doesn't look great,
right.
but it's effective.
That and when he kills Elizabeth, that scene and when he kills Elizabeth were shot with him and pulling his heart out,
Yeah.
and you can only find that on the Japanese laser disc of it.
Well, that's why it wasn't in it.
Right.
So I think I'm going to make the comment now. This is the greatest 2-part episode of Doctor Who I think I've ever seen. Because I was thinking about that. And John Hurt calls himself a doctor.
He is
the
a
entire
doctor.
time.
Yeah.
He's got his futuristic time traveling vehicle.
Instead of a screwdriver.
He's got a kind of a love interest with any lady who meets him.
Yep.
He's a strapping young Englishman, and they literally do this in Doctor Who. He did go back in time to meet William Shakespeare and the 3 witches. There's real
Really?
witches, yeah. Then they went back in time again and met Vincent Van Gogh, and he had a monster. And then again with Agatha Christie.
So he was quantum leaping.
Yeah, and so this
Fits
felt
right
just
in there.
like that. And this movie came out in 1990.
Yep.
New Who started again in 2005. So there was a good time chunk.
Yeah.
So like
The book came out in the 70s.
and the book came out in the 70s. Like it's the best one. And it's cool that they kind of parallel each other like that.
Yeah,
so like
that
if
is
you're
cool.
a fan of like David Tennant's Doctor Who, you're probably going to love this movie because it feels like it's one of those episodes.
Is he the older guy that was in the Suicide Squad?
No, he's the guy who came back.
Oh, okay. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
He was in Harry Potter.
I know what you're
I don't know if he got his transfer back into Marvel yet. Everybody seems to be going to Marvel. And he's one of the, like, if you Google Doctor Who, you find a picture of David Tennant. He was in The Good Omens.
I know who you're talking about.
Okay.
And
Oh,
it's not
David
who I
Tennant.
was thinking of. That's all.
Now you're thinking of Peter Capaldi.
Yes, that's
And
who
I
I'm thinking
love
of.
Peter Capaldi.
And John
I
Hurt
met Peter Capaldi.
would is a good stand-in for Peter Capaldi's
Absolutely.
Doctor Who.
Well, ironically, and I can't believe I didn't think about this, John Hurt did end up playing the Doctor.
He did?
Yeah, he's in the 50th special with David Tennant.
That's awesome.
And Peter Capaldi makes a cameo at the end of it. He's the War Doctor.
That's cool.
I can't believe I just now thought of that. He did play the Doctor. It's a Doctor Who episode. There you go.
The greatest Doctor Who episode ever.
Directed by Roger Corman.
Right.
So the story continues.
He tries to get Victor to save the girl because he knows that the monster killed his brother.
Right.
And Victor kind of shines him on a little bit, tells him to give a note to his fiance.
Yes.
That just says, "Hey, how you doing, baby?"
Yeah, it wasn't a real
No.
to save him or anything.
But that's what I was going to mention too, because Raul Julia does a great job in this.
As Victor
He's
Frankenstein?
fabulous. It's really too bad that he died.
yeah.
He was phenomenal. He was just starting to really rise, and it's just too bad because he does a great job in this.
He might be one of my favorite Frankensteins.
Yeah.
If
he
Gene
might be.
Wilder wasn't funny as all get out in Young
Yep.
Frankenstein, Raul Julia would be my favorite Frankenstein. I
Because
think he
he's
does a
like
great job.
he's a
Well,
mad scientist.
Yeah, and
He doesn't care about the consequences of his actions.
At
He's
all.
do what he's doing is more important.
Yeah.
just like John Hurt, and that's why he says in it, "Meet my Frankenstein or my monster."
Yeah.
When at the end of the movie, and yeah, so basically, his whole time is spent waiting for his AI to figure out what to do, which it says, "Well, nothing. It won't work."
Yeah.
And the monster, like in the book, wants a mate, kills his fiance, and Victor wants her back, so he reanimates her. And that's the whole point of the movie. And John's like, you can't, or Buchanan, you can't do that.
Yeah.
It's what you're doing is wrong. And I believe me, because what I know I'm doing is wrong, and it's got to stop, but he just keeps going.
Well, there's a line there where I think they ask him if he believes in God.
Yeah.
He's like, how can I? I'm a man of science.
Right.
And then,
Shelley, or Mary Shelley. Well, I forgot her real name, her last name, because they're not married yet. Says, "Oh, so science is your religion?" And he's like, "Yeah, I never thought of that." And he's all impressed by her and stuff.
Yeah.
Not Jane Fonda. Bridget Fonda does a great job too. Every stellar performances in this lower budget movie.
Oh yeah.
Good special effects. It's well worth watching, and it's just so cool.
But so he says, how can I'm a man of science? But then when John Hurt and Frankenstein go up to the tower, Frankenstein, the monster is like, well, where did you come from?
Right.
And he's like, well, God, I suppose. And he's like, well, what's God?
Yeah.
He's like, well, why don't you talk to...
Ask Victor about that.
Yeah. Because he's playing God.
Yeah.
And it's... I like that we feel like we are sitting next to John Hurt. Like, he's not... Like, we are all in on it.
Right.
Showing them all this stuff. We are the advanced ones. We know what's going on. And it's cool that it doesn't treat the audience like we're stupid.
Nope, not at all.
Because it would be very easy to do that. Like, just hold our hand like, that's Mary Shelley.
Yeah.
You know, like, and all this stuff. But it doesn't. It's very mature in its storytelling.
It is, and it doesn't care. Like, he tells her everything about her. He's like, you're Mary Shelley. What? So we get married? Oh, congratulations. Not, oh, shit, I shouldn't have said anything. Yeah, you're going to get married. Congratulations.
He gives her her book.
Gives her that she doesn't read.
No.
And she says, do we die young and all this? He's like, do you really want to know that?
Yeah, do you want to know that?
He would have told her everything about her life that he knows. And she says, I think I'll relive my life. And that's cool as hell.
That's a great
too.
line.
Yeah.
Really, the script on this is surprisingly well written.
It is.
Again,
Roger Corman co-wrote it.
He wanted to make this. When Roger Corman wants to make the movie, you can tell.
Yeah.
Like, again, like I go back to those Poe movies, but like they're written really well. They've got the dialogue in it is pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the case here. Like there's a lot of care in this that you wouldn't expect from a B movie,
right?
Let alone a Corman movie, let alone a Frankenstein remake of a book that isn't Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
Right.
Everything in this should add up to be just a complete and utter mess.
Yes.
Fantastic success.
It is. I think that he knocked it out of the park. With
I
this
do.
one.
I do too. And look, that's a guy who I will always come to the defense of a movie I like that nobody else likes. I don't think if anybody was to, if you were to watch this, I don't think you would not like it. I think you would agree with us.
You would have a good time with it.
Because it's A, at the bottom line, it's a fun movie.
Mm-hmm.
B, the acting is superb.
Yes,
I think
it is.
There's a
It's
couple
top notch
shots that I would differ from, like when the guy on the horse comes out of the time rift and he like freezes and then zips back. I would have done some different things there.
I
personally.
wouldn't.
But it gets the point across, it gets the story across, and it works
looks
really
good.
well. And it looks pretty good.
There's a big hole ripped in the sky, and you can see on the other side of it is infinity, and it just looks great.
I love the way the cloud looks. I love that
Yes.
it's a cloud.
Yeah.
And I love that it because it's a rip in space-time, it doesn't go away.
Yeah.
Like, it's just always there.
And it's there in the past.
Yeah.
And it came, it's great.
It's such a good idea. I also like how nobody cares.
Yeah.
Like, all
They're
these...
like, oh, look at that weird cloud. And then Percy Shelley starts writing a poem about it. And
yeah.
they Mary calls it Percy's Cloud after a while. But it just... It's the time travel movie for that you don't have to think too much about time travel.
Yeah, because they didn't, and
Nope. It's right up
it's user
front
friendly.
too.
Yeah, and it's right there in the it's the forefront of the story,
Yep,
and it's just so well done. I think it's so well done.
it's great.
And I'm
It
kind
is
of
great. I was
bummed
so
out.
looking forward after when I thought of it. I can't wait to see this movie again, and I was happy.
I will be looking for this movie. If I can get this movie physically, it could even
Yeah.
be on a DVD.
I'm gonna look forward to.
I'm buying it
Yeah.
because I think it's that good. I honestly do.
I've seen it several times because I got it on VHS
Uh-huh.
from a store that was going out of business, and I think I got it because Raul Julia was in it. And man, I was like, "Wow, this is great!" And I've seen it several times. I haven't seen it in 30 years, but man, I loved it.
If I'm recommending something to you, it's either because I think you should watch it for educational purposes, or I think you should watch it because I love it and I think you should watch it. This is one of those. I
Yeah.
loved this movie. I think you should watch it. It's just it's that good.
It is. There's like no exposition. I don't think.
No.
I can't really think of any exposition. It's all show. Here it is.
Yep.
Here it is.
There's
It
not
is-
a well,
nothing's
as you
wasted.
know, kind of monologues.
No.
There's no like. It's perfect. It's perfect in what it needs to be.
Yep.
It's right to the point. All of the fluff and filler that could be in there is not in there.
Nope.
It's cut and clean. Like 90 minutes long, I want to say.
I think it is. About
And it's just a well done movie. And it's honestly like bravo to Roger Corman.
yes.
He did a great job, and
And the makeup effects are really good.
somebody needs to put on a box set of Roger Corman's unknown movies.
Yeah.
Like everybody's seen X, Y, and Z. Everybody's blah 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 blah. But like stuff like this that you haven't even heard of,
Mm-hmm.
put that in something.
Yeah.
Let us watch that, because stuff like this, these are the hidden gems.
Yeah. It is a
These are
hidden
the
gem.
ones that don't get talked about enough, and they really should be.
Yeah.
There's no reason why this isn't, like Arrow doesn't put this out, or something like that. Like there's no reason.
Right.
This would be such a great grab for
That's a good place to look. Arrow.
yeah.
I didn't look there.
They
I didn't look to buy it because we need to see it quick. But
oh, I did.
I
couldn't
can't
find
believe
it.
nowhere. It's not anywhere, and it's got to be. It can't be an expensive movie to
No.
get the rights to.
It could, well, I don't remember who produced this, the distributor of this.
I don't
who
remember what the
owns
distributor is.
license to it, but
Oh, Fox CBS. That's what it was.
well, there you go. Fox put it out.
Disney put it out because they own Fox now.
'Cause, like I
didn't look
I ordered
there.
the.
I didn't look
Disney?
on Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's gonna be right there next to It's
Yeah.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah, right.
Which is so surreal.
That is,
It's so surreal.
that is not a Disney show.
you go on to Disney Plus, and on the For You little tab, it's like Bambi, Predator. you're like what? But that's what you get when you're a monopoly. You get
Yeah.
all that stuff.
One time I wonder what movie it was. It was a Disney movie. It might have been The Black Hole. He said, and Walt Disney is rolling in his grave right now because he would not have put out anything like this stuff
And, well,
that
look
they've
at
got
where
on
they
there.
are
Like,
now.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia would have never.
It wouldn't have been a Disney
No,
property.
he would.
He wouldn't have had any interest in buying that.
Nope. And even more adult things were all Touchstone for a long time.
Yeah.
And now Deadpool's not on Touchstone or Buena Vista.
It's got the
yeah, everything.
what was I just about to say? Oh, Disney he was a family man
Yes.
first. A lot of his animators I don't know how true this is. I heard this through, I don't remember the original source. It might have been a documentary. But some of his old animators, they were buddies of his. It was his birthday, and they animated Mickey Mouse doing something that Mickey Mouse shouldn't have been
Oh
doing.
yeah,
And
I've
he-
heard that.
And he laughed at it. He thought it was
Yep.
really funny. He was like, well, and then fired them
Yep, fired him.
all of them.
Yeah,
Because, like,
I've heard that
funny
story,
joke,
too.
But, like, he got rid of them all.
yep.
So, seeing this on Disney Plus would be
I
something.
gotta check to see if it's
else.
on Disney Plus. That would be something else. especially because the version I watched was crappy.
Yeah.
And on Disney Plus, it'd probably be a nice picture because the
At least
colors are
1080p.
fabulous in this movie.
The colors in
It's
this
very
movie,
colorful. It looks like vomit. It's so colorful.
it looks like vomit. It's so colorful. I like that.
Yes. If it looks like vomit, that's a thumbs up.
That's what we should do. We should if it gets the Grindhouse seal of approval, we'll say it looks like vomit.
Looks like vomit.
But yeah, all around fantastic film.
Yes. A lot of fun.
And I don't see it, needing like a sequel or a reboot. It's
No.
just as good as it is.
Yeah, it is fine just the way it is.
This is one of those ones.
It being made so long ago, the futuristic stuff, you wouldn't want to redo that.
No, it dates it.
Yeah, it dates it and then leave it there.
Yeah.
Because we don't live in that reality. He changed everything
Exactly.
by not giving a shit when he was in the past.
I also like the way the movie opens.
The credits,
the credits.
the title scene
beautiful.
It's amazing. I love it.
It reminded
music
me
is
of
great, too.
the Ravens title credits, where it's got like the. I want to say they shot it through like a glass pan.
Yeah, it
and
looks
it's
like
all
that.
paint and
Yep.
watery. It's so cool, and he does a good job with stuff like that.
Yeah,
like
he does.
the graphics in these are amazing.
Yeah,
I really really like them.
and this doesn't disappoint.
But when he's walking, I don't know where he's walking, but it's like windy and they got the snow and all that. He's got the hood up.
Yeah,
So
You
I
mean at the
should
very
probably,
beginning?
the very beginning.
Yeah.
I should probably start where the time shift started.
Yeah.
And you'd say, "Oh, okay, that's the kind." I thought I misheard it. I honestly thought I misheard. I thought he was going to make a Frankenstein monster, not go back in time
and meet Frankenstein's monster.
Oh man,
Yeah,
but yeah, solid blast. If you got a Friday afternoon night, you watch this movie.
Definitely.
Do yourself a favor. Watch Frankenstein
favor.
Unbound.
Roger Corman's Frankenstein Unbound.
There's a handful of Roger Corman movies I say you have to watch, and this is on that list.
Good. I'm glad you liked it.
I did. I'm very glad you gave me that suggestion. And it's funny because if you wanted to give us a suggestion, you can. You can comment it down on the video, or you can send us a message on the grindhousepodcast.com website. It's a great way to get in contact with us.
Yeah.
But check out this movie. It's so good. It's so good.
It's so good.
Hey, that's a cool shirt you got on.
Thanks. You can buy this at the. Go to the link in the description.
Go to the link in the description. There'll also be a link on the website too. We'll attach that there.
Yeah.
Official Grindhouse merchandise coming to you as soon as it comes to us. But yeah, again 2 thumbs up, bucket full of vomit. It's for me. Like and follow. Share the video. Subscribe. Please stick around. This is just a community of people who love movies. We're on Facebook. We are on Twitter. We are on TikTok. We're trying to get that Instagram up and running. Anywhere you want to reach out to us, we're probably there. We're on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon. We're everywhere. You go to Amazon right now, you type in the Grindhouse Podcast, we do pop up.
That's awesome.
It's so cool. Leave us a review on IMDb. We're also there. We're everywhere.
We're everywhere. And definitely give us suggestions because I'd like to see things I've never seen before.
I do too. So please leave a suggestion. Drop something. A couple weeks back, we did The Land That Time Forgot. Hadn't even heard of it. Popped it in. That was a suggestion from you. So please, by all means, let us know what you want.
Yeah.
Because we love movies. There's nothing we're not gonna like dread it. We love to watch movies.
Right.
And we love to talk about movies. And we'd like to talk to you. You're really awesome. I don't think I have anything else to say about this movie. Do you got anything else to say?
I'm good.
I think
And it's
so.
good, and everybody should watch it.
Absolutely. What should we do next week?
I don't know.
I think we should do a live pick right now. We'll think of something. Because there's a lot of cool stuff coming around. You know what? It's kind of a silent movie, but there's a Lost World.
The
movie.
old Lost
it's black
World?
and white. It's a silent film.
All right, we could do that.
Or we did Frankenstein today. We could do a Dracula movie.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about a different monster. See, we're indecisive. We needed some help. So drop us a.
All right, how about if we? I'm not going to tell you what Dracula movie I'm going to watch, and then we can talk about them like that.
So you're gonna watch a Dracula
We'll watch
movie.
a Dracula movie.
I'll watch a Dracula movie. Randy back here, he'll watch a Dracula movie, and then we'll all come next week
With our Dracula movie.
We'll see if we picked a similar Dracula
Yep.
movie, which we might not. We probably won't. There's so many
There's
of them.
so many of them.
So we'll come back. We'll and we'll talk and discuss each one.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is a really cool idea.
Well, I'm full of it.
So tune in next week for a special Grindhouse Dracula mystery episode. And you know what? You watch Dracula movie too, and we'll talk. And you talk with us about it too, because we love talking about movies. But I have been Cheese Film,
And Hecubus.
and this has been the Grindhouse
Grindhouse
Podcast. I didn't get a Grindhouse Podcast from you, Randy.
Give him a Grindhouse podcast.
Grindhouse Podcast.
Grindhouse Podcast.
Cheese Film out.